Fine Time is about to blow your mind.
Hello, party people. It's your boy Dre, and it is the time, but I am here by myself because this is the best of Fine Time. Yeah, so we've been planning to do, well, I shouldn't say planning. Before the show even got rolling, we were kind of deciding how things were going to go and setting it up and making plans for this type of show or that type of show. We've been having this in our back pocket for years just because we thought, hey, there might be a time where none of us can make it for a big deal. And guess what? Right now is that time. All of us are occupied. We're all doing something. So we figured, hey, why not a clip show? We're old, right? I mean, come on. Remember when your favorite sitcom back in the day would put together some funniest clips from previous episodes? We don't really do that anymore, but we should, quite honestly, but that's another discussion. But we're doing it right now. So I get that not everyone will be into this type of show, this sort of look back. But, you know, hey, I think it would be fun, especially since over the last couple years, we've gained a lot of new listeners and they may have not heard this stuff. But we're also going to play current clips too. So it's going to be a mix of stuff while me, myself, Dre host this shit. Because I didn't want to just, you know, throw together a bunch of clips then upload it. I wanted to have some sort of quote unquote live element to it, even though it's not a real big deal. A really big deal. See what I did there? Ha ha ha. Oh my God. No one's here to laugh at my shitty jokes. What am I going to do? How about I just play the first clip? This one is a show intro when it was just me and Kevin. And we went off the rails immediately in a way that Steve would have never allowed if he was there. Roll it.
Fine Time.
All right. Hey, it's your boy Dre here off the top. I'm not sure how to tell you guys this, but we got this weird note. And look, maybe I'll just read it out loud. Okay, here we go. Hey, yous guys. We regret to inform yous that Steve fell off a truck. Yeah, that's it. Fell off a truck. Don't ask any questions. In exchange, please accept this very legitimate copy of True Lies. Let's start the show.
Step into video game land. Welcome to Fine Time.
Hello, party people. It's your boy Drave. Drave?
Drave.
Wow, what the hell happened? I can't even say my name again. I'm going to keep it. It's your boy Dre and Drave and Kevin. I said your name right?
You liked the V at the end of Kev. You wanted to get in on it.
Oh my God. What? I'm embarrassed.
No, it's good. It's good. It's the Drave and Kev show.
Drave.
Yeah.
If the show were more popular, my name would be Dre forever. Nobody would ever let me stop. Our listeners probably won't. I mean, I'm going to be Drave already. What am I saying? I think enough people listen to the show where it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think if the show goes to hell, the Drave and Kev show like slots in well on like Disney Junior channels too. So
absolutely, I would let my kids watch Drave and Kev for sure.
Yeah, much more PG than Dre and Kevin.
This is definitely not rated PG. I'm not sure what this is rated. It is definitely rated. This podcast has explicit content. Almost said explicit lyrics. We don't have any lyrics. I would like some lyrics. Hey, listeners. Okay, you've heard our intro song. You heard it just now. You've heard it a lot throughout time now. What would you think if someone actually rapped over that? Would that be cheesy? I've been thinking about that on and off for months, like hiring somebody to actually spit some bars over that. See, Kevin's trepidatious whenever I brought this up in the past.
We could just go in a new direction and have somebody with a little banjo ditty sing over that. I don't know if we want to like taint our cool intro song with it could go like super sideways.
Well, okay, if it sucks, I'm just not going to air it. I won't use it. I'll pay him for his time and say thank you, but I'm not going to like actually play it if I think it sucks.
What if you're blind and you don't realize it sucks?
Oh, I know what sucks. Trust me.
I'm sure the audience realizes by now Andre has full editing creative control.
Can you tell?
You're gonna plug in this shitty like rap intro, and you can have no idea that it's garbage. We're gonna lose all 12 of our listeners will be gone.
If I play it for you two, and you guys don't really don't like it, then I won't. It won't matter how much I like it. I will let myself be overruled on that until I sneak it in some random like solo episode or something like that.
Okay, real quick. Infinite budget. You get one rapper to rap over it for us.
Man,
because I'm just putting it out there that it's always had like a strong Jay-Z vibe to me. So I think like Jay-Z is the shoe-in.
It's definitely I definitely on this show play like more like East Coast style, like New York, like boom bap, like 90s hip hop. So it would have to be an artist like that, right? And like I thought Nas, maybe that was like my first thought. Jay-Z would obviously slot in there.
Sounds like P. Diddy is out.
Yeah, he is now. I don't think I would choose him anyway. I like his production. I don't necessarily like him for his rapping skills, shall we say. I think I would pick Nas. If I had unlimited money, I think I would go Nas.
Or we could get Will Smith. We have infinite budget. I mean, after that slap, he's looking for work.
Of course he is. Oh, he'll have work. He doesn't need work. He has money forever.
He might do it pro bono.
just to get his name out there again on the small podcast.
He's got to start somewhere after he smacked Chris Rock around.
Did you know Nas wrote "Getting Jiggy with It" for Will Smith?
I did not.
Did you not know that? He wrote a couple songs. He wrote "Miami." He wrote a few songs for that record. It ghostwritten. He doesn't have his name on it, but he definitely wrote "Getting Jiggy with It" for sure. Yeah,
Miami is not that bad as far as things go. It's definitely better than Getting Jiggy with It.
You're not a fan of Getting Jiggy with It?
Nah, it feels really dated. I mean, Miami feels dated too. But
I mean, they didn't feel that way at the time, though. I mean, they definitely like.
I think even at the time, like you had to have known in the back of your mind that Getting Jiggy with It was not going to hold up fucking 15 years down the road.
No, I mean, of course not. I mean, it barely held up like 3 years. I think the year hit 2000 and we were like, done. Like, that shit was over. But like, no, he wrote them shits. I still
What
think
about the Wild West theme song?
I see. Yeah, that's the one I'm not a fan of. I don't like that song at all. I really don't.
It's not. I mean, in general, we're not talking about the highest caliber of music here. Let's be honest.
No, we're not. But that's always my favorite bit of like ghostwriting trivia is that Nas wrote "Getting Jiggy with It" for sure.
Okay. Keep that in my back pocket for music trivia night.
Did you know Jay-Z wrote "Still Dre"? Did you know that?
Yeah, I have heard that before. I don't know if you would have asked if I would have recalled it, but it was hiding back in the archive somewhere.
Yeah, but Jay-Z, Sean Carter, if you will, actually puts his name in credits and stuff. Like he'll write it for you, but he wants it there, like whatever. But
well, he maybe wouldn't want it there if it was Will Smith. I don't know.
No, I think Will Smith isn't as you know what? That's what he needs to do. A comeback where Will Smith puts out a new record where he like fucking cusses and shit. He like calls everyone a motherfucker. He like has 3 songs dissing Chris Rock. He like goes berserk. He goes full scorched earth. He talks shit about Jada. He calls Jaden a little bitch. He like goes completely insane.
I love it. I would be there day one for it. Where does he go after that, though? Then what?
Well, see, that would get him. That would start his true villain arc, though. You know, like you need to put out this record of like crazy shit.
Yeah,
I think.
What does he title it? I don't regret the slap.
Just call it I don't give a fuck or whatever. I don't know.
That slap was justified.
You could just call it. You could just call the record the slap. Could just call it that. That's what everyone's thinking about anyway. Hey, you want to talk about video games?
All right.
I guess we should do that.
I got all sorts of stuff brewing up for a Will Smith sideshow, but we'll save it for later.
Oh man, I think we just did it. Holy shit. Oh my god. You know what's so fucking stupid? I sit here and listen to these clips and I laugh my ass off listening to our own show. Isn't that dumb? I do it all the time. Whenever I have to I do quality checks all the time. I go back and listen to our old shit, make sure it sounds the level and everything, and I edited that right or whatever, right? And when I do that, sometimes I just sit and giggle at our own show like a narcissistic prick. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's a good show. It's a good show. What can I say? Okay? It is. That's why you're listening to it right now. It's a fucking great show. So, next clip I got up. Let's see here. What should we play? Ooh, okay. You know what I want to do? I love when we do music segments on this show, whether quote unquote real music or video game music. And me and Aaron from Super Ghost. Now I also do a show with Aaron called Neo Geo Go. Check that out if you want. NeoGeoGo.show. I had him on a couple years ago to do a Grandia 2 appreciation show, basically. And we had an entire music section that I thought was really fun, and we just got to sit around and listen to a whole bunch of good music. Even if you don't care about Grandia 2, you never played it before or whatever, I think you will appreciate it anyway, because this is some very super high quality stuff you're going to hear right now from what is essentially my favorite JRPG soundtrack of all time. Check it out. All right, Aaron, it is finally time to talk music in this game because we absolutely have to. Again, I know I keep saying the best this and the best that. This is my favorite JRPG soundtrack, hands down. It's not even a question. It just is. And it was composed by a man named Noriyuki Iwadare, who I've been a fan of even before Grandia 2, and then when he did this, I was like, oh yeah, because I knew him from the Lunar games. He did those. Basically, he just worked at Game Arts and just did Game Arts stuff. So he did the Lunar games, and he did the first Grandia, of course, and then he did Grandia 2. After that, he went on to do like the Ace Attorney series after from Trials and Tribulations onwards. Is basically Iwadare music. And I know you're a Phoenix Wright person as well as I am, so
fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, shit, I mean, we love Phoenix Wright music too, but this game, Grandia 2, my favorite work of his. And shit, I think he's one of the most underappreciated composers ever. I can't believe he doesn't get put up there with the greats. He should. He's incredible.
especially for Lunar, man, or Lunar, however you say it. I know a lot of.
I don't know how to say it.
Me neither. I just go based off of what other people say. So I guess for now I'm going with Lunar until somebody corrects me. But I'm surprised he doesn't get more recognition for those, and yeah, for the Phoenix Wright games that are incredibly popular. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's put a shit up on Spotify, please.
I would listen to his shit.
Where I can get it.
I would listen to his shit day and well, I do anyway. I play Phoenix Wright music all the time when I'm doing my Japanese lessons or something. I like to have like background music. Phoenix Wright music is like perfect for that. It's good stuff. But
so were some of these Grandia tunes.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Let's talk about some of our favorites, okay? Because one of my favorite songs, let's start here. There's in the adventure fields, there's like a couple different main songs that play, but I really like that one called Have Faith in Yourself. It's like the more upbeat one. This one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know this one.
It just gives you that like adventurous feel, man. It's perfect. And it's like for like a basic like field of like grass and like, fighting some enemies along to the next town. It's pretty fucking jamming.
It's super jamming, dude.
Tell me one, I don't know, what's your favorite song in the game? Can we do that? Whatever you want to say.
I'm stealing the one that you put next.
Okay.
In Town, a Gear. This is one of the first tracks from the game that I saved to my playlist on YouTube. I was like, holy fuck, this track is so fucking good. Because I really love me some chill jammy jams, and this one was like just like I tickled my lips a little bit on accident, but like I was trying to do the chef's kiss, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, man,
I don't know how to be a human.
No, man, it's great. This shit's jamming.
Shit.
The percussion. I love when there's like in music in general. I love when there's like real quote unquote the drums, and then there's like a bunch of percussion on top of it.
Dude, it's so 90s.
Yeah.
So incredibly 90s.
Yes. Very.
God damn it. I love this fucking track so much, dude.
I wish we could sit here and listen to this shit forever. It's so good. So this is my favorite song in the game, and it's not the main battle theme, and it's not the boss one either, like when you fight a Valmar piece. It's the mid-boss theme. This one.
I think I know this one. That beat right there, dude.
Oh yeah,
Holy
it's
shit.
so good. There's something about it that gives me like that, oh man, here the fuck we go again. And not here we go again in like a bad way, like, oh man, I'm tired of this. It's like, get fucking ready for some shit. You know, actually, just one more battle theme since we're on these.
That's fine. Yeah,
The final one, the final battle theme is so good. I love the way it starts, and it gives you that like, oh shit, like it makes you feel like a fucking. Let's hear it.
This sounds like a Bravely Default track, to be honest, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Fuck yeah, dude. Holy shit. That bass line.
Yeah, oh my god. Dude, it's every... I'm sorry, I'm gonna invoke anime for the 14th other time on the show, but it's every anime final battle in the 90s I've ever loved. It's this song. It's every OAV I've ever loved in one song. I'm old, everybody. I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. I need to recover. Talk about one you like. Give me another.
That's okay, man. I would have also had another one, but I couldn't figure out which one it was because a lot of the tracks, we discussed this in our chat, a lot of the tracks aren't like in the official soundtrack or they aren't named for some reason.
Yeah.
But there's a track that plays when you're in the Great Rift that was really good, but fuck that. I instead went with the fight end jingle or whatever you want to call it. You won't be able to kill me just like that. Wait for it. Hold on. These fucking trumpets, dude. Da-da-na. God damn, you went so fucking... You didn't need to go so hard for an end fight tune, but he did.
Okay, whose voice do you hear when you hear this? Because I hear Rowan going, "We won."
Every time I hear the I immediately hear Ryudo going, "You have to try harder than that to beat me."
And the sword
It always
goes
goes to that, dude.
Yeah, always good.
Those fucking trumpets. Oh my god, man.
Well, I had my own search odyssey, and I bugged you for it, and we both went on a search for this. But there's a song that plays. There's a scene where Ryudo and Elena, they have a nice scene. They get marooned on an island because reasons. And they have a nice little thing. The moon's out, and they have their first kind of heart-to-heart. You know what I mean? Ryudo really gives a shit and whatever. They wake up the next morning after presumably fucking or whatever they were doing. And they realize that the big pearls on the island, they are not pearls. They were hatching eggs of insects. And then you hear this song.
Is that just a piano?
Yeah, I think so. Organ, maybe electric piano.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen to this shit,
Guitar
man.
riff, dude, yeah.
Listen to this shit. They went crazy. They didn't have to do this for like this one scene. I think it plays one other place in the game, and it's not even on the official soundtrack. I had to go digging on like what, like Zophar or Kingdom Hearts Insider or something to find like all the tracks in the game by number to find that. And it's like, what do you? Come on. You wrote down one more though that I wanna talk about because it's a song I really like too.
Oh, I forgot I put one down actually. Yeah, the Moon of Valmar. Yeah, that one's real jammy.
Yeah, it's so good because like I said, it's so wild that you go to the moon in the first place, and you get there, it's like, okay, what the fuck is this gonna be like? And you get this shit. So good.
Damn, space rules, dude. Space is so cool.
Yeah, that's why they spent forever there at the ending just chit-chatting about the state of the world before they just... It's just so ridiculous. They were like, okay, let's go home. How do we do that? Anyway, I already talked about that. I can't go over that again. But yeah, man, Valmar's Moon, what a fucking song. Oh, I forgot about that guitar sting.
Dude, so many of these songs, they have just ridiculous guitar stings. Mm-hmm. Like the beginning of the fucking battle theme.
Oh. Oh, it's so good. Just excellent stuff. Again, I hope you enjoyed our little showcase or little miniature extended play. The music in this game is wild. You should play it so just good to hear this stuff, honestly, if anything.
And we haven't even touched like most of it. There's way better tracks in it. I just picked like 3 that stood out the most to me, but like honestly, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, we
not pretty good. They're all really good.
We're just scratching the surface here. There's so much for you to hear in this game. It's incredible.
Fine time.
Good God. Oh, I love this game, man. It's just the best. It is. I think we titled that episode literally Grandia 2 is the best. So it's just right in the title. No mystery needed. What is it? I can't remember if it was last year or the year before at this point. Me and Steve did a Thanksgiving through, like, you know, because we usually take a break through November and mid-November through early January just to recharge our batteries, and we record a bunch of shows and just let them play. One year, me and Steve did something called Cinematic Platformer Paradise, where we played a bunch of cinematic platformers. Another World, Flashback, Fade to Black, Heart of Darkness, etc., etc. And one of them was also Blackthorne, the Blizzard SNES classic. And on each of these episodes, I had Steve read the story to each of these games over loud music, just because I felt that was so appropriate. Just because, you know how it was in the 90s? They were so proud of their Blade Runner ass stories or whatever was going on that I was like, okay, let's just give this the full stupid treatment. And that's what we did. So here is Steve's story read for Blackthorne.
Fine time. Fine time. Fine time.
Okay, time for you to tell me the premise of Blackthorne. I cannot wait.
Okay, but I need you to wait like one more sentence because the people at home need to know. The story for Blackthorne is 19 Super Nintendo manual pages long.
Oh my God.
So what I got for you here is some very big time paraphrasing
Okay.
of what's going on.
All right. Cannot wait. Tell me about it right now. Hit the music.
Far away on the planet of Tool, there were 2 kingdoms, that of Androth and that of Kadrasul. Kadrasul's Emperor Sarlacc sets his sights for Androth and pretty much wrecks them. King Vlaros of Androth, knowing that they are utterly fucked, uses space magic to send his son to Earth for safety until such time that he can save his people. 20-some-odd years pass. Kyle Blackthorne, a real name he's adopted, becomes a renowned military captain and mercenary who, following a court-martial, begins hearing strange voices telling him that he needs to go now. His home planet needs him. No, really, it does. So off he goes, whisked away by the same space magic that brought him to Earth, back to Tool to enact vengeance.
Did not disappoint. Did not disappoint at all. Fucking amazing. His name is Kyle Blackthorne?
I think he named himself that sometime after coming to Earth. It's weird. There's 19 pages, Andre.
Oh my God.
We're talking about things like people had cooking up in middle school. Like, clearly, someone was sitting on elements of this for a while.
Just incredible stuff. Just incredible stuff. It's so nerd. That is some real nerd shit. Wow. I love it.
I was just going to say, you know how we just make up names for shit and we don't care to look up the names? Like, I was waiting for you to come in and say, Steve, is this name really Kyle Blackthorne? Like, you know, while we were making notes, I'm like, yeah, his name is really Kyle Blackthorne.
It's unbelievable. I mean, we were joking about Freddy Flashback earlier, and just like this is actually as dumb. It still makes me laugh, man. Kyle Blackthorne. That can't be a person's name, man. That cannot be a human being's name. I'm sorry. It's even in a video game. Okay, it just doesn't seem correct. Okay. Let's hear one more. Let's hear one more story read from Cinematic Platformer Paradise. Okay. Let's play Fade to Black.
Fine time. Fine time. Fine time.
Let's talk about the premise and story of Fade to Black.
2190 AD. The solar system is in the clutches of an alien race. A race beyond control. Morphs, all surface, no substance, are able to replicate any shape at will. Controlled by auxiliary master brains, this breed of imposters has systematically reduced mankind to a whimpering quagmire of indecision and paralysis. Enter Conrad. Plucked from a cryogenic slumber, the hero is installed in a moon-based penitentiary where he befriends dissident leader John O'Connors, also a prisoner. The pair escape to an orbital base occupied by the Mandragore, and Mandragore recruits Conrad as a saboteur to run a mission in an attempt to destroy the Morph Empire. One by one, Conrad knocks down the walls until he discovers the true meaning of a sick mind. This is Fade to Black.
Are we sure we didn't make up this game?
Someone did.
I played it, and I'm not sure this is real.
Exactly. See, that's why I called it the memory hole. I was like, oh shit, this is so, how does this exist? This isn't real. And you know what I've come to realize now that you've read a few of these over the course of the series is that you ever have that friend in middle school? They have that binder, right? And they have that story in their binder, their Trapper Keeper. They want you to read it, all their cyberpunk bullshit in this binder. It's like, come on, read this, man. It'll blow your mind. I'm writing the story where this guy goes to New Washington and then gets on a space, all that bullshit. We've all been there, right? And you begrudgingly give it a skim. And as you're reading it, they're telling you even more lore on top of it while you're trying to read. That's what Flashback and Fade to Black are to me. That's not an insult, by the way. I just love that that's the vibe they represent. And whoever made these games are truly passionate about their bullshit.
They truly were passionate about their bullshit. I tell you what. And I applaud. I mean, as kind of much as we were poking fun at that shit, it's like I said, I really do appreciate that type of ultra nerd core shit. Sometimes I do, especially back then. That's just the way people rolled. I mean, but it is a different time. So let's see what's next here. Let's see how much time we have left. Okay, we got a little bit of time. How about this? So there was a Pac-Man compilation, I want to say like 4 years ago now, called Pac-Man Museum Plus. That's like a follow-up to their previous Pac-Man Museum, I think, on PC. And it has every Pac-Man game you could pretty much think of outside of like the midway hacks like Junior Pac-Man or whatever. And, of course, this compilation includes Pac-Man Championship Edition, one of my favorite games of all time. And I did this episode with Ven, and this is also one of his favorite games of all time. So I couldn't wait till we got to that game in the compilation so we could just say why we loved it so much. And the reason why is because all the sequels, Pac-Man Championship Edition DX and like all the other ones, we think are total trash. Complete trash. The original Pac-Man Championship Edition is the one that is great. But that's not the one that persists today, which is unfortunate. So here is me and Vin, like 4 years ago, I think summer 22, talking about why we love the original Pac-Man Championship Edition.
Okay, the time has come. We are energized again with the Energizers / Power Pellets / what were they called in Super Pac-Man?
Super Size Me Pellets?
Super Size Me Pellets?
That's a term I made up.
I think we saw those at 7-Eleven last week when we were getting a soda.
I wish.
Whoa, what? All right.
Waka
We're here
waka,
to-
motherfucker.
Waka waka bitches. We're here to talk about something very near and dear to our hearts. And I was not joking. One of our favorite games of all time, Pac-Man Championship Edition.
He's not joking. It really is one of our favorite games of all time.
Buckle up, folks. We're going to be here for a while. Best throwback / retro revival of all time, YN?
Yes. It's mine.
I mean, Sonic Mania might be the only thing I might say fits in this category that I would.
It's close. It's close. But it doesn't
That's about it.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Sonic Mania of Pac-Man, that's for sure.
Oh, baby.
So let's set the stage a little bit, huh? So like 2007, right? The indie market was like burgeoning, right? It wasn't really much of a thing yet, but it was happening. And like, you know, artsy fartsy small game market before all the, you know, the pixel nostalgia disease took over, right? but the big publishers were kind of trying to see how they fit into this space, or if they could. Namco was really early on this. Because you remember, like this is the first Pac-Man Championship Edition was like the first sort of dip their toe into this water. Because after this, they did like the Generations games, right? And like,
yeah. That's right.
So Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man, they got him back to make Pac-Man Championship Edition. It is his last game, or at least he said it was his last game when he made it, and that has held true. He has not made a game since.
Yes, that is correct.
And boy, howdy, what a magnum opus to go out on. Jesus Christ.
It really is. Yeah. It fit the this is back on Xbox Live Arcade on Xbox 360, and it really fit that sort of space so well, right? That downloadable game space. It was like perfect for that. And like, and I remember like you got an Xbox 360 before I did, so I didn't really get to play this right when it came out. So I was kind of listening to you play it, and I almost was like, "Whoa, this even just the soundscape sounds like ridiculous, man. This sounds so like different from like its predecessors,
but yet recognizable, right? There's no mistaking what I'm playing."
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. It was so cool.
Ultimately, if you don't know, Pac-Man Championship Edition is timed score play, or score attacking, if you want to use that term. Mm-hmm. Either 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on the mode you pick. The regular championship mode is 5 minutes, and you have 5 minutes to score as many points in Pac-Man as you can. It is the ultimate score play game. It is so beautifully designed. It is the best score play of all time, basically. So, like, the maze works in two halves, where you have dots on either side. You eat all the dots, a fruit will spawn. You eat that fruit, more dots will appear. So, and it actually keeps track on the bottom of the screen which fruits you've eaten on which side. You know what I mean? Just like in Pac-Man, you start with cherry, you go to strawberry, orange, whatever, right? It progresses bell, right? Galaxia.
Yeah.
Those things progress, but you can advance either side of the board as much as you want. You don't have to keep them. You could advance them symmetrically or asymmetrically. In fact, I don't think we've ever really talked about this. How do you play? Do you just whatever, or do you try to keep them symmetrical?
I try to keep them symmetrical for the most part. I believe there are certain cases where I'll try to like farm fruit on like one side, and that's the beauty of it, right? Because the score play revolves around like eating dots or eating ghosts or eating fruit, but it's like magnified, right? So it's like you have so much like player agency like at any given time that it's like super fascinating.
Yeah, because you can make so many decisions. The dots are in Pac-Man they're worth 10 points each, and they're still worth 10 points each in Pac-Man Championship Edition until you play for a while, and then they're worth 20. And then they're worth 30, and they're worth 40 to a max of 50 points a dot. But if you die, it goes back down to 10 points a dot. So imagine you're playing like regular like 1980 Pac-Man and dots are worth 50 points each. You're going to try to do everything you can to keep that going, right? Like, so basically there's lots of questions that come into play. Do I just plow through the Energizers, LOL, and just keep my dot score going? Or do I try to go for the ghost, but that's riskier because I could die? Or do I go for, should I forget about advancing the fruit as much as I can to keep that going? Because that's also risky, right? There's so many risk reward things happening at the exact same time in this game.
It's incredible. The decisions you have to make on the fly at any given moment are numerous, and they're nonstop from the beginning of the game till the timer ends. That 5 or 10 minute timer. It's every word in the book. It's exhilarating. It's incredible. It's involving. It's masterful. It is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, the risk and reward mechanics feel very intentfully designed, right? So like that's one of the most interesting parts to me, which a lot of other sort of like throwback games don't necessarily like get down, because this is like its predecessors but evolved, right?
Yeah.
So like it still has the same sort of maze progression, but the additions to the overall flow feel meaningful and substantial. They don't feel like, none of this feels gimmicky.
No. Unlike its sequels, which are Gimmick City, which is, but like the original Pac-Man Championship Edition, gimmick free, although it is not pizzazz free. Like the audio visual element of this game is very key. So you start the neon maze realized, right? And this is I always make fun of other people for saying this, but in 2007 it's warranted. It's the first Pac-Man game in HD, right? So you have this very nice widescreen presentation that you've never had for Pac-Man before. You have these very bright colors, and it's cool because the music ramps up in intensity as you play. So like think about you're outside of a club, right? Some techno club, and you just hear that bass pulse because you're not inside it. You just hear that boom, 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 right? Yep. You're outside the club. Then you open the doors and you're assaulted with music, right? That doesn't happen in Pac-Man Championship Edition. It just very slowly ramps up there. So you start out, you're eating dots, boom, boom, boom. You hear that bass beat. And then as you play over that 5 or 10 minutes, the music will swell and grow and grow. By the time you get down to those last 30 seconds, baby.
It's really high octane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really intensifies things, and it really makes you feel those last like 30 seconds as you struggle not to like die. And another thing is that in general speaking, this game plays faster than like prior Pac-Man titles. But so in some regards, it's a little tough in that respect. But it's fair though, because they actually give you a lot of lives to sort of like compensate for that, right? So like you can die back-to-back times and you'll still keep your run going. In fact, when I was like listening in way back in the day, I'm like, yo, are you like dying like over and over again? Like what's going on? I'm
telling you, it's just how it goes. It sounds scrubby though if you just hear it.
Yeah, without context, I'm like, what's going on here? But the danger is omnipresent though, because one, you really feel it when you when you die, because I mean your dot score gets reset, right? And then secondly, you can't like just like assume that you have plenty of lives, because they can get burned through very quickly.
You can gain a lot just like any other Pac-Man by getting 30k or something. I don't know. Every so often you get an extra life, and it seems like a lot of lives, but you'll need them because baby. Especially if you're doing one of the 10-minute ones, forget about it.
Yeah, we're still game overing on some of these 10-minute ones, and we play the game a pretty good amount.
There's lots of variations though. So there's like the regular championship mode, but I think one of my favorites, I think it is Extra Mode 1, where it's like these very long straightaways. It's another 5-minute one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that one because you can really ramp up those dot scores. That's what I really get off on in this game, is getting those 50 points for the dots. And this mode really allows you to do that very well.
Yeah, it lets you do it, especially since like typically on the left and right sides of Pac-Man mazes, there's like a wraparound warp, as it were, right? But this has got like 7 per side, so like you have a lot of like movement possibilities, right?
And you better make sure there's not some errant like Sue or something hanging out on the other side of like, you know what I mean? That's never happened to me before.
Right.
No, man. Pac-Man Championship Edition, the master does his work, man. You can tell like a person who has really mastered their craft worked on this. And Toru Iwatani. I'm so glad they got him back to do this one last thing for them, because I always keep putting this game in the
category of like a retro revival or whatever, and I guess it is, but honestly, just for any game, it's one of my favorite games of all time.
I've still replaying this game like a lot even now, and like I'm just eternally thankful that now it's on a platform that we can easily access, because this wasn't really available on like PS4 or whatever, right? So like for a while
we had to
there,
make do with those shitty ass sequels. So
right, yeah. So like I'm just very thankful that it's here.
Me too. All right. Moving I'm glad we finally got to talk about this beautiful game. But moving on from that,
beautiful game indeed. Beautiful game indeed. I'm just sitting back listening to this, just like basking in the glory, just listening to myself talk about this great game just makes me want to play it again and again and again. Just get right back into it. Load up that Pac-Man Museum Plus. Great version of that game, by the way, if anyone was wondering. Okay, let's see what we got. One more. Well, actually, okay. Let's do one more short one and then one more long one to play us out. How about this? Here's a clip from, I would say, spring 2022, pretty early on in Fine Time history, which I can tell because of our shitty microphone quality, which you're going to hear in a second. But we were talking about Gran Turismo 7, and it was pee-pee time. Sorry, just had to do it. Here you go.
Fine time, fine time, fine time.
that will not happen to you in Gran Turismo. You know what I mean? So it's not that fucking, bitchy with you. At the same time, I've gotten into the sim elements more than ever. Like I'm doing like car tuning. I've never done that in a game. Even in games where it's like they want you to, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wing it. I ain't digging through all those numbers and menus, right? I'm doing it. They didn't tell me to do it. I'm just doing it because I want to just dig in there and see what I can do. And they explain, if you want an explanation of every single number on there, they'll give it to you. That's also the thing that's really great about the game, is that they will give you as much information as you want to have, but they're not like throwing it at you. This means this and this. No, if you want it, you can look at it. I think that's great.
I haven't quite got there. I'm still quite at the level where I want to bring my PP up and bring my PP up. And then once it hits a certain level, I want to bring my PP down a little bit so it's not too high.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to do that as economically as responsible as possible.
I don't know if you got into races where you have PP caps.
I have.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, you better bring your PP right under this line. PP can't be taller than this. This is my favorite game that has PP, by the way. I think it's at, what is that, performance points? My previous favorite game was Fantasy Star Universe, had PP, if like photon points, basically MP. But it's like, oh man, I'm out of PP. I got to go back to the town. And man, we had a field day with that.
It's never going to get old.
Oh no, you're never too old to say PP and laugh. Except Steve, apparently. He doesn't think the PP's funny.
What are you talking about? My favorite game uses PP instead of MP.
What uses PP? Oh, Pokemon uses PP?
Well, that does, but Earthbound.
Oh, Earthbound does use PP. That's right.
Fine time, fine time, fine time, fine time.
Hey, I like Earthbound. I like PP. We're the same. We should do a podcast together, me and Steve, right? I'll ask him someday if he wants to. All right. One more clip to play us out. This is from summer 2023 when Mick West, yes, Mick West, who created and programmed Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I don't know how many he did after that, maybe 3, I'm not sure. But he had maybe the biggest hand in the way those games play and feel. And Kevin got to interview him on this show. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe I'm saying that sentence. Kevin got to interview Mick West for fucking Fine Time. This show, it's just unreal to me, man, still. So anyway, yeah, he talked to him. Kevin talked to him about both Tony Hawk and UFOs, because after Mick West left the video game business, he started getting into like UFO debunking, like conspiracy theory debunking. and stuff and showing why that shit isn't true. And Kevin has an interest in both things. So we interviewed him about both things. I didn't listen to this clip beforehand. I'm going to be honest. I just told Kevin, hey, pick your favorite, 10-ish minutes out of that show so we could do it for this best of. And he picked whatever he wanted. So I don't know if this clip is about Tony Hawk. I don't know if it's about UFOs. Could be about both. So here you go. Mick West on Fine Time.
Fine time. Fine time.
Specifically, I guess on the video game development side, I'm explicitly interested in talking about the Tony Hawk franchise, as I'm sure a lot of people are. Anytime I've heard you speak about your time in game development and the franchise, you come across as very humble, but there's no getting around the fact that the series was not only, critically acclaimed. If we look at the Metacritic top 100 video games list, both 2, 3, and 4 are on there, famously 2 sitting at the number 2 spot to this day with a 98% reception. As well as the enduring fan passion that's kind of went throughout the years, and I think it's fair to say you were definitely instrumental in the success of that, because everybody talks about just how good those games feel to play, and the fact that they're just fun to play, even when you're not pursuing goals or given direction by the game. And that's always brought up by fans. So when you left that franchise, it was more or less at the peak of its popularity. And I'm curious how difficult of a decision it was to do that at the time. If there was some hesitancy because the thing that you were instrumental in building was so loved, or if at the time you were just kind of, I'm done, I need to move on to other things.
Yeah, I was kind of done. I'd been doing the same type of thing. It was a lot of fun at first because it was all very unknown. Like the first games, we had no idea how to make a skateboarding game, and some of the stuff is pretty clumsy in Tony Hawk 1, like the physics and stuff like that, and the tricks system was a lot more simplistic than in 2. And so it was like a really interesting learning process over the first few years. Like first of all doing the first game, and then kind of finessing it for Tony Hawk 2. And then kind of having to restart again for 3 because that was on the PlayStation 2. And then we did a couple more after that, and it just kind of started to get a little bit repetitive. And I felt like branching out and just doing something else. So it wasn't a hard decision. I mean, I would have been a lot richer had I stayed and carried on working on it. But then I would have to be continue working on the same thing, which which would have been fine. But this is the road I went down, and here I am.
Worked out in the long run.
Indeed.
So back to the release of 1, I've got to ask, so the first game released on September 29th, 1999, and just a few months prior to that, Tony Hawk landed the world's first 900 at the 1999 X Games on June 27th. So I was in elementary school at the time, and I remember this explicitly being playground news, even up in my rural school in Canada. So it was definitely a pretty high profile topic for the sport. And I'm wondering if did that cause some hype around Neversoft at the time, or?
Yeah, well, in a couple of ways it did. I mean, one, just because it was such a big topic, the X Games, being on TV and everything, and just everyone, it was such a major event within the skate world, and also kind of like spread to the broader world as well. It's the first time this particular trick has been done, most amazing trick ever. It's like the 4-minute mile of skateboarding. And then we had like a little bit of work to do because the game was pretty much finished at that point, and we had to get a 900 into the game because we didn't actually have that. So of course, the 900 is one of Tony's special tricks, and it didn't take too much time. But when you've been working on a game and you're done, you don't want to add things to the game, because you add something, things get pushed around, you introduce new bugs, you can break things. So we had to kind of get this in, the most straightforward way possible, and then just do extensive testing to make sure we didn't break anything, and then ship it.
I suppose it would have seemed like a glaring omission if it wasn't in after that.
Oh yeah.
So you did the Tony Hawk Pro Skater podcast a couple of years ago, and you had kind of speculated on difficulties that series had, as it progressed in finding new mechanics to implement, because there was a number of major upgrade type mechanics that you guys had already done through the first number of games, right? The manual and the revert, the wall slap, getting off the board, all things that kind of made it easier to, extend your combos and have a little bit more flow. And I'm curious if there's a specific game you would identify by where you feel like, implementing new and valuable mechanics started to be more of a struggle, or if you kind of look at, not saying that there was ever a sharp downturn, but if you look like it was all kind of, relatively rising up until maybe the Tony Hawk Ride era.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like things go up, things go down, and it's hard to pinpoint things exactly. I worked on the first 5 games. So the last game I worked on was Tony Hawk's Underground. And that was kind of a bit of a departure in that we emphasized the narrative of the game a lot more. And so it's kind of more about you as a character within this world, and you're going through a story. And I know a lot of people really like that. But my personal relationship with games is more about having fun mechanics and doing fun goals in the game. And I don't really, mind, don't really care too much for the story. Like if I want a great story, I'd watch a movie. And I know that's kind of like a bit of a contentious thing because a lot of games nowadays are really amazing narratives. You think of like the Last of Us, for example. It's the video game version of that game is got a compelling like narrative and video and interactions as well, just as the TV series does as well. So it's obviously a thing a lot of people like, but I'm kind of an old schooler. Like when I was young, like video games were these super simple things. Like, I started with Pong, obviously, like the very first video game, and then Space Invaders and Centipede and things like that. And for me, with Tony Hawk, the thing I love about it is just that flow of going through, a sequence of tricks and doing a line or, trying to get to a particular point or do a particular thing, like jump over a helicopter, whatever it is. And, I've always been someone who's found the kind of the cutscenes and everything to kind of get in the way, and I like to skip them. But like with the new mechanics, I think like in the earlier games, each mechanic was pretty revolutionary. Like, in the Tony Hawk 2, we had the manual, which was the kind of big thing that you could, like before, you could only really extend your tricks by doing multiple grinds. And, so you'd have to start out in the half pipe and then grind somewhere and then do a bunch of things. And then we have the manual where you could actually, just, land in a manual. And then we had, in the subsequent games, we had the revert where you can flip around when you land and kind of land into a manual and continue the tricks that way. And these were quite revolutionary in terms of the actual gameplay. If you compare like 1 and 2, for example, they're very different games in that sense. But I think it got harder and harder to give a kind of a revolutionary upgrade. Things like the wall plant is just, it's using a wall to reverse a line. It's, it works, but it's not really the same kind of type of thing as the revert or the manual. And it's I don't know. I think like you kind of run out of steam eventually. You either have to kind of reinvent everything, or you can't really like just add little bits on to something. And, at the end, I think, of the Tony Hawk franchise, it was more about, getting these amazing worlds and nice narratives and everything. But the mechanics were kind of incremental changes rather than revolutionary changes. But you couldn't really do a revolutionary change because it would be a different game. And I think that's why some of the other games like Skate had success, because they were so different. The way that the mechanics worked in Skate was very different to Tony Hawk. So it's not like you're just playing the same game in a different setting with a few new tricks. It's a completely different game.
Right. I guess until you get to the point where you make a large plastic skateboard to put in front of the TV.
Well, but the problem with that is that it didn't work. It wasn't a viable way of controlling the game. It was like a gimmick that seemed like a good idea, like many things in video games do, but it wasn't really going to work. There's lots of controllers that come out that are supposed to be like a better thing, but using gross body motions to control something that's really meant to be this direct, like brain to screen type thing, where there's as little impediment as possible. I don't think it was ever really going to work. Certainly not work in the sense of it being the same type of game. It's like a fun balance game, like the Nintendo games with the balance board. But it's not a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game.
No, I did notice when I looked at that Metacritic list that it didn't quite make the top 100. Though I will say I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Downhill Jam on the Wii, which you could probably make the same comparisons for, but for completely different reasons.
Oh man, what a great interview. Again, I still can't believe it. Kevin did a great job interviewing him, and the UFO stuff is actually really interesting too. If you've never gone back, if you haven't been with us long enough to hear this episode, definitely go back and check it out. Like I said, I think like it was August 2023. Fuck. So good. Excellent stuff. Great job, Kevin. Great job, us. Thank you guys for sitting through our first best of. We're not going to do this super often, okay? I promise. This isn't going to become like a seasonal best of or something where, you know, we want to do big deals, real big deals. But in lieu of that, I think it's fun to look back at the show this way in times where we can't do a real episode because nobody's available. So this will be a weapon in our back pocket to use once or twice a year, I'm thinking. Okay, that's all. But yeah, thanks for being with us, guys. Thanks for listening to the show. As always, check the description of this podcast to find our links on social media, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
We'll catch you next time. This has been